Greetings to one another. Greetings to one another. Happy evening to all. Hello everyone. This is Philippine from pantechelearning, and I welcome you all for engage your learning experience with pantechelearning anytime, anywhere, and any places. We are always supporting to the students in a technical way. What is our main vision? We are going to help 10 million students to learn the technical knowledge by the easy way. And I welcome you all today's session of Data Science Masterclass program. In this particular program, I'm going to discussing with you the churn analysis in data science program. So what is the meaning of that? So without delay, I'm going to entering the topic. Are you guys are ready to listening this particular class? Are you guys are listening, get into that particular class? If you guys are listening means please mention in the comment box yes Philip. Please mention in the comment box yes Philip. After that, I can continue this particular session. Right. So without delay, I'm going to entering the today's topic. Right. So what is churn prediction? The churn prediction is a common use cases in machine learning domain. For example, if you are not familiar within the team, and also the churn means leaving the company. So that's it. So if you are not familiar within the team, or if you are not familiar in that particular team in the sense, the churn means is that you are going to leave the company or leaving the company like that. It is very critical for a business to have an ideas about why and when the customers are likely to the churn. That is most important. This is actually that the prediction is a little bit complicated. So having a robots or accurate churn prediction model will help to the business to taking the action to preventing the customer from leaving the company. That is the most important thing. So in major concept of this in the sense, what is the reason we have to predict it? So based on this particular criteria, based on this particular data feature, the person is the churn or not. That means yes or no like that. So for an example, here I mentioned that if you are not familiar with the team, or the churn means leaving the company. So it is that very critical for the business to having an idea about why and when the customers are likely likely to the churn. So having this robot and also the machine learning trained model, that particular model helps to the business to taking the actions to prevent the customers from leaving the company. That is the most important thing. But before that, we have to understand what is the reason behind that, why they are that they're not familiar in that, and also why they are going to leave this particular the company. These all are the things we have to find it. So that is the reason we can go for the robot and also the the pre-trained model. That is trained model, which is we designed, we trained. Okay, so that is the reason we can go for that the model creation for this particular task. Okay, right. So without delay. So what are the actions we have to follow today for this particular task? So we are going to find the reason. After that, this is this particular customers is churn or not. The things we have to find it, right? So in this particular project, the structure is as follows. The first we have to analyzing the data, that is exploratory data analysis, and also pre-processing the data and model creation and evaluation. So these all are the process I'm going to follow. This is the structure of this particular today's session. Okay, so without delay, I'm going to enter in the practical explanation. So before that, I will talk about this particular internship program. So 2 days to go finishing this particular offer for the internship user. If you want to do that internship on data science technology in the sense, please do join immediately. Because this is the right opportunity. If the masterclass is coming into that particular session in the sense, the offer is going to be end. That means 2 days to go to complete this particular offer and finish this particular offer. So you want to do the the data science internship program in the sense, please do join immediately right now. You can now convert in this particular masterclass into the internship. That can be possible. So what is the benefit of this particular masterclass? 30 days of live session is going to be accessible for participant and also the what is that internship user. And the recorded videos is accessible for the 90 days of this particular internship user. So there will be the pause and play options will be there. You can loan at any time in between this particular 90 days. And you can receive the that 8+ source code data science projects and you can receive that the knowledge of this particular projects, and 30 days of downloadable presentation you will be get, and also the source code that you will be get, and that the certificate which is getting from Pantech e-learning, and confirmation letter which is getting from Pantech e-learning. This is the benefit of this particular internship program. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity. 2 days to go. So tomorrow, this offer, tomorrow 12 o'clock, it is going to be finished. This particular offer, the rate 590 rupees. After that, the rate will be the nearly 1,000 rupees. So we are giving the offer. So use the coupon code TSA3. The discounted fee will be 590 rupees. Use the that particular internship link. You want to enroll this particular internship link in the sense, go to the description. Go to the description and find that link and follow the procedure as they mentioned in that particular description. Don't forget to register for this particular event. You want to do that internship program and data science technologies in the sense, please do join immediately. Okay, the registration fee will be nearly 590 rupees. This is similar to the a very less amount of the for this particular internship program. Okay, it's like a pocket money. So most of the people are spending the more money for the entertainment. So for the learning, also you can spend this much of money for that. Okay, so this much of money and this much of content. Use the special opportunity. 2 days to go. Finish this offer. So this offer is only for the masterclass participants. So try to understand that. So today is the 1 days to go finishing it, and tomorrow 12 o'clock the offer will be available. After that, it's going to be rise in triple nine rupees. So please use this particular special opportunity to you and join immediately to do the internship on data science technology. Okay, right. So what are all the projects? Already we discussed credit score, stress prediction, social media ads classification, groundwater level prediction, kernel analysis prediction, drowsiness reduction, chatbot creation, and electricity price prediction. These are all the projects we discussed, we will be discussing, and we discussed in this particular the internship. Okay, you will be received all the source code for this particular projects. So please do join immediately and learn these several things in data science technology. I assure you that you have to believe me, and I will give the particular knowledge for the data science technology. Okay, enroll today, and don't forget this special opportunity. Use this particular opportunity to join this particular internship. Okay, so without delay, I'm going to entering the practical explanation of this particular things. So I'm going to open my Google Collaboratory Cloud Drive. So just open that my drive here, and yeah. So I'm going to rename out this particular project. I will be explaining one by one. Then only you can understand in a easier way to that learning this. So I will explain one by one. Then only you can understand about this. So I'm going to rename out this churn analyze. Okay, churn analysis. So now I'm going to first initially import the necessary libraries. So import NumPy, import pandas, import matplot, import cbot. This will be helpful for the exploratory data analysis for visualizing the data, and NumPy will help to working with the arrays, and pandas will help to manipulating the data. So already you knows about it. So I'm going to entering to loading the data sets. So this is the way to loading the data set. TF is the variable, and pd.read CSV is actually the the loading the data. Okay, loading the data set to the system for model creation and model training. So pd.read CSV, and you can copy the path and also paste it here. Okay, after that, once I'm going to run this one, in the sense I need to ensuring it whether it is loaded or not. So tf.header function will help to visualizing the data here. That you can see it here. 21 columns will be there: gender, senior citizenship, partner, and also dependence and tenure, and also the phone services, multiple lines, internet services, online security, and device protection. These all are the columns name will be here. And finally, the churn is actually the label data or target data. The output will be number. And you can see the one thing here. So most of the data value is related to the that object. That means maybe that it is a categorical or classification. Categorical or classification data. So that I will tell you one by one. And after that, I'm going to show the data shape, that is 7043 entries and 21 columns will be there. I'm going to checking the null values here, but the help of is null of and dot sum will help to that returning is there any null values or not. It will be returned the zero. Of course, the data is very clean right now. After that, I'm going to the target value counts. That means how many yes and how many no. So that means here the no 5174 and how many yes is of course 1869. So that means these particular persons are not familiar with that particular the teams or companies like that. They are going to leave that particular company based on the data. After that, I'm going to creating one particular column here. So that is TF columns. Okay, then binary columns in the sense classification data. I'm going to collecting this particular binary columns. So binary columns is the variable and empty list. I'm going to create it. So I'm going to loop over this particular columns which is the created before here. So call is actually the iterating variable. This particular iterating variable iterating over the sequence. So here I'm going to creating one particular condition. If the data calls, the value counts is the shape of 0 is equal to 2. Of course, that is the binary classification. If it is that the 3 or 4 in this, that is the categorical. So because of binary data value is actually the 2. So that is the reason we have designed it. Okay, so we created the condition. That means columns dot value counts dot shape of 0 is equal to 2. Of course, that is binary classification data. So after that, I'm going to append this particular calls. Okay, so that means these particular condition will help to choosing the classification data. This is actually the binary columns here: gender, senior citizenship, partner, dependents, phone services, paperless billing, yes or no, and Churn is actually the yes or no here. Now I'm going to display all the columns name here. That is customer ID, gender, and senior citizenship, partner, and dependents, and also the the online security, online backup, and also the device protection, the tech support. These all of the data will be there. But you can see it here, the multiple columns. That is actually the categorical column. So apart from these particular data is a binary column, and this is the categorical column. That you can see it here is actually that from here to there. Okay, so from here to there is actually the categorical problem. So here I decided to that filling the creating one particular list for this particular the data. That means multiple columns category. So multiple lines and internet service and online security, online backup and device protection and tech support and streaming TV and streaming movies and contracts and also the payments method. Okay, so remaining will be the categorical, binary categorical. Now I'm going to displace the count plot for the categorical problem. Binary categorical problem. Binary categorical problem is the value will be 2. So here I am going to decide to create that that figure and access the PLD dot subplots. Okay, 2 cross 3. So 2 rows and 3 columns, and the size will be 12,7. That is user defined. Okay, then you can see it here. So I'm going to create the multiple the plottings. For example, gender, senior citizenship, and also the partner and dependents, phone service and paperless billing like that. So here I created because of the count plot is expecting to one single data because it will be displaced to two different binary classification, binary value here. For example, gender in the sense male and female will be there. Senior citizenship in the sense yes or no will be there, and partner in the sense yes or no will be there, and phone services yes or no, and paperless billing yes or no will be there. That you can see it here. All the data will be 0 and 1, yes or no, like that. So this will be returning the count of each categories. It will be displays the count of the each classes for that binary classification. So for these particular data, for this particular function, I am going to display it. For example, 0 and 0. What is the meaning of the axis here? Of course, it is 1. And 0 and 0. Of course, it is 1. And for 0 and 2 is, of course, this particular data. That means actually the partner. Then what about that 1 comma 0? Of course, this is 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 2 here. That you can see it here. This is the way it is going to be plotting like this. So when you are going to see this particular data plotting, we can see it here. Male and female. This particular data is the eventually distributed. Senior citizenship is actually not in that unbalancing data here. So that is the senior citizenship one, and also the count will be not is actually very much here. And after that, the partner is actually much similar, like gender and dependence is actually okay for this. But here the phone services and also the senior citizenship is actually that very less amount of the data. The relationship between these particular data, yes or no, is actually that sampling and sampling is actually not similar. Why? Because of very less amount of the data for one and very less amount of the data for no here. So it is not as that balanced data. Unbalanced data will be there for two different categories. After that, I'm going to replace. Okay, so replace S is 1 and no is 0. So for replace function, it is going to be replace the value of S and also the 1 in kern. Okay, you can call the data from kern here. It is going to be displaced like this and it's going to be changed. But you can see it here, the group of the mean value of male and female. It is actually the very similar value. So here I am not going to use this particular gender data for kernel analysis prediction. So that is the reason I don't want to use this particular data. In the same way, I'm going to use the kern analysis for senior citizenship. So senior citizenship 0 and 1 will be comes that the meaning of mean value is actually there will be lots of difference from 0 and 1. Okay, so this is actually the group of, with the help of the group of that particular group of value for senior citizenship, it is going to be calculate the average value of 0, average is a value of 1. In the same way for the partners of kernel analysis, so we can the plotting like this. For an example, partner, after that what is the data will be there, that yeah, dependence. So I'm going to choose the dependence as well. So I'm going to run it all. So I'm going to display the same thing for that to calculate the mean value of different categories. So call copy this particular code and paste it here. I can replace these data. Yeah, what is that is actually dependence. Just a minute. Yeah, dependence. The same way for you can replace it here. Copy and paste it here. And you can see the output for this one. This also, sorry, the column names is something went wrong here. So you have to copy these particular things and paste it there. So you can replace and yeah, sorry. So I'm going to replace these particular things is actually yeah. Okay, here also that dependence. So now I'm going to run this. You can see the output for the mean value of S or no for the dependence. So it is actually that not similar. So after that, the same thing you have to follow for senior citizenship partner, like that the value will becomes that not much similar like gender, and you can see it here. So this is for the analyzing purpose. Okay, this is for the analyzing purpose. Now I'm going to getting into that other categorical data. For example, the internet services. Okay, internet services will be TSL, fiber optics, and also the node. So for an example, this count plot is going to be displays the count of the internet services for this particular data, the DSL and also the fiber optics. So when you are going to analyzing this particular data, explore that exploring analyzing, you can see it here. The fiber optics internet services will be the very increase when compared to the other tools. This is for the categorical data. So now you can see it here. The internet service, I'm going to calculate the mean value of these and these. So majorly the average will be of course the fiber optics. That means TLS maybe that the price will be increased. That is the reason the customer not preferred for this particular DSL. So that is the reason they are going to get into the fiber optics to choosing this purchasing this particular thing. So that is the reason fiber optics will be very high for the average value. And after that I'm going to the plotting for all the the categorical data binary classification, binary categorical like this. I'm going to display this for this. So in the same way I'm going to the 2 of 3, and the figure size will be that user defined, that is 12 comma 7. And after that the count plot for streaming TV, streaming movies, online security, online breakup, and device protection and tech support. So now you can see it here, this particular data. So no, this much. S, this much. No internet service, this much. Okay. So maximum data of streaming TV will be that no will be there, and also the S will be there. Okay. So no internet services also nearly that off of S will be there. In the same way for the streaming movies. So this is the way you have to analyzing this one. So online backup for this one, and also the majorly the no internet service will be that very similar for all the data. And also the S is actually majorly eventually value will be there, that you can see it here for streaming TV, for streaming movies, and also the for online backup, and also the device protection, and also the tech support is actually yes is actually very that's similar to the data for all the columns here. So this is a way to exploring the data and analyzing the data for that. So once you are going to done this one in this one, I am going to calculate the streaming TV mean value based on the group Y, because of it is the 3 different categorical. S and no internet service. Here the no internet service is a very less, so we should not consider it about that. But 3 and 3 yes or no will be very similar that. In the same way for the streaming movies as well, and also online security as well, the group of 5 will help to that making the group and calculate the mean of this particular data. And you can study right here. So phone services yes or no will be this particular data. We are not choosing this one. Why? We are going to exploring each and every column. We need to choose the right features for model training. So here the phone services yes or no, it is much unbalanced data. So that is the reason we don't want to use here the phone services here. And also the multiple lines also that not much similar to that. So that is the reason I can go for it that using this. But I'm not going to prefer it for the phone services because of it is the unbalanced data. But here it is a very similar to that yes or no. So we can choose multiple lines if possible. After that I can go for the contract as well. So you can see it here month to month and 1 year contract and 2 years contract. So 1 month to month is a very peak, but 1 year contract is very less, 2 year contract is very high. Maybe that based on the price of the money of 2 years will be very less when comparatively that very profitable. That is the reason most of the customer is going to be buying this one. That is the reason it is the little much increases here. And you can see it here for average here. Of course you can see it here month to month that particular customer will be very high, nearly 50%. In the same way for the payment method, electronic check, mailed check, and bank transfer, and also the credit card. But majorly they are using the electronic checks to pay this. Mailed check will be that will be actually when comparatively this come out of the data a little bit increases. But the bank transfer and also the credit card will be actually very similar to that. And for this multiple lines, you can see it here for the mean value of each categories. So now I'm going to plotting the contract here. So 1 month to month, and also the that 1 year contract of this. And for this particular that contract value mean is actually the 40% of month to month, and 0.2 is actually that 1 year, 2 year, and 1 year is actually 0.126. After that, the payment method will becomes like this, and you can see it here for the the current analysis group of data for mean values of each and every category's value. So bank transfer 1.6, but majorly 45% of the electrical checking. Okay, right. So after that, I'm going to display the tenure and also the monthly charges. So distribution plotting will becomes like this. For an example, for tenure and also the monthly charges, it will be that rapidly it is going to be increases, and this going to be decreases, and also the increases, and also the the plotting like this. And it is going to be going to suddenly increases, then decreases, after that increasing, then finally it is going to be decreases like that. This is the way for the histogram plotting for two different data, that is monthly charges, and also what is that is actually tenure. Okay, right. So now, so TF of tenure and monthly charges and also the Kern, the group of Kern will be that you can see it here for the tenure and also the monthly charges for the Kern based on the Kern here. And you can see it here for the monthly charges is actually nearly 61.26. And also for that S is actually 74%. So most of the data is directly proportional to that that monthly charges tenure, and you can see it here there for the mean value of this. Now I'm going to preparing the data. Okay, now I'm going to preparing the data. The exploratory data analysis has been done. Now I'm going to get into the preparing the data. So that means we need to removing the unwanted data here. So already I told you it is very eventually balanced data. That particular data is not needed here. So that is the reason I don't want to use the gender, and also the phone services is also not needed. Contract and also the total charges is also not needed. So customer ID is not needed. So this is the unwanted data based on the analyzing. So based on the analyzing means is actually that you have to choose the contract as well. That particular data is actually not normally distributed. You can see it here. This is actually that contract is not needed. The value is not much distributed like that. So that is the reason the contract is also not necessary data here. So that is the reason I'm going to use the contract and also the total charges and the phone services and gender and customer ID will be here. After that, I'm going to that making the label encoding and also the one hot encoding here. Then minimum maximum scalar that will be help to standardizing the data here. So here the categorical features is actually I'm going to choose the different categorical features will be there. So senior citizenship and partner and also the dependence and also the multiple data, multiple lines and internet service, online service. This is the necessary data we have chosen here without this particular dropping. After that, I'm going to use the one hot encoding. So that particular one hot encoding is actually that creating the multiple, increasing the multiple columns. So here I'm going to that converting the standardizing data for tenure and also the that monthly charges. And for this particular normal data, this data will be comes like this. Okay. For an example, you can see it here. All the data will be in object. So once I'm going to that using label and one hot encoder and also the minimum maximum scalar, that particular data will be converted like this into the numerical data. You can see it here. All the data will be the numerical data because of the computer can understand in the numerical format. So here starts from tenure, monthly charges, Kern is the target data, and senior citizenship like that, it is going to be used that. So all the data now it is that you can see the difference between these and this. All the data is in object, all the data is in numerical. Now I'm going to show the initial data frame is actually 16 columns, but after the data frame I'm going to use the 100 data, so 10 columns is going to be increased. And then I'm going to display the Kern for class distribution before resampling. So you can see it here. This is actually like, that not eventually distributed. So here I'm going to like, that resampling the data. So here, like, that x of no of curd is equal to 0. X of s is actually the curd is equal to 1. So I'm going to resampling of this. So x of x and sampled data, upsampled data. So xs, so you can call this particular column, and xs dot sample n is equal to len of x of number, x of no, okay, x of no, and replace like, that random state is true. Then it will be like, that how many yes and how many no will be there. In the same way for no as well. Okay, the same way for no as well here. So here the xs sampled will be comes like this. Then I'm going to displace this particular upsampled data of like, that x of no dot append to the like, that exam sampled data. So once you are going to splitting the data for x of s and also the x of no, so we are going to appending this particular data. So x of like, the no dot append of x of s unsampled. So now we are, that is actually like, the no data. So x upsample is actually like, that x no appended dot like, that x s upsampled data, then resetting the index. Then it is going to be displayed. So you can see the difference between that data and also this data. So this is what we expecting, that is after resample. So this class is distributed after the resample here. Here the x of example of code and also the data is exampled and set the title and class distribution after sampling. Now the data is like, the balanced data. After that, I'm going to like, that creating the training data as well as the testing data. So for that, we have to separating the data independent and also the dependent. Here I mentioned it here, independent and also the dependent. For without kern is actually the independent data. Only kern is actually like, that the independent data. After that, I'm going to preparing the training data as well as the testing data. You have to pass the x and also the y. The training size will be 0.2. What is the meaning of that? 80% of training and 20% of testing. The random state will be 42. So I'm going to here using the random forest classifier. Already you know that particular algorithm. So I'm going to creating these particular like, how we can get it from for this particular algorithm. We can get it from sklearn.ensemble, then random forest classifier. After that, I'm going to creating the object for this particular function and number of trees, decision trees, then maximum depth is equal to 10. So 100 number of the decision trees. You can pass the training data for the model training. So this is nothing but the model creation. After creating the model, we need to calculate the accuracy score. For that calculate the accuracy score, you need to calculate the prediction value of that particular model. So CLF dot forest dot predict, and you can pass the xtrain, and you can see it here this particular data. In the same way for training testing data as well. So predict test is equal to CLF, then forest. You can copy. So that is the simplest way to do that. Copy and paste it here. So call the model and dot predict and pass the X test. So what is X test here? Yeah, here X test. Copy that X test and also paste it here. Then I'm going to enter this one. Then accuracy score. You have to pass the predict test, then comma by test. So this will be also capital, no, smaller. Then I am going to like, that printing this one. What is the accuracy score on testing data? This is actually like, that 88 and also the 84. This will be accuracy score and training data. This will be accuracy score and testing data. So finally, it is very similar. So that means it is not facing overfitting and also the underfitting problem here. So this will be the best model for this particular kernel analysis prediction. So how to exploring this particular data, exploratory data analysis, these are the things. Hope you guys are understood about it. And how to processing the data. Here we are using the one code the encoder, and also how to splitting the data, and also how to training the data. These are the things you have learned about this. So after that, so without delay, I'm going to entering my time. Hope you guys are understood about it. If you guys are clear, this particular concepts means, please give your heart in comment box right now. Please give your heart in comment box right now. Who are not joining this particular internship still now in the sense, please do join immediately. Okay, so welcome to my time. So every day I'm mentioning one particular motivational quote to you and for me as well. 5 rules of happy life. So you have to follow for this. 5 rules of happy life. The one, don't hate anyone. If they are hurting you, don't hate. If they are disturbing you, don't hate. If they are like, the speaking in a bird words and also making the negativity on you, just ignore them. Don't hate it. Okay. Don't hate anyone. So that will be like, that collapsing your fields, and also that will be making like, unbalanced feeling of you. So that is the reason I have to say to you. And second one, don't worry about anything. If you feel like very bad, what happened, what is like, that what exactly happened on that particular problem, you are thinking too much of about that in this, you are getting worrying about that. So don't worry about that. It will be solve the problem. So give a space for that particular problem. Of course, it will be giving the solution. Okay, then give more. If you have anything, give your love and give your kind to the people. So of course, the happiness will come inside. And expect less. If you're expecting too much of your closed one or too much of your friends, in the sense, of course, that will be like, the disappointed on you only, not for them. So don't get disappointed once you are going to expecting. So don't expect anyone and don't get disappointed. That's it. And fifth one, live simply. Live simply. Most of the people are expecting the extraordinary and luxurious life, of course. You need a peace to living the life. So that you have to make it. So that is the reason I can add the like, live simply. Don't hate anyone. Don't worry about any problem. Give more you what you have and expect less from anyone close to anyone. So that will be making you happy and live simply. Okay, because of all the people are expecting the luxurious life. Of course, it will become. So live with a peace. That is most important. Okay, keep your life in a peace way. Keep your life in a positive way. Okay, right. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity for taking this particular session. And I hope you guys are enjoyed this particular session is related to the churn analysis prediction by using the data science technology, by using the machine learning technology. Hope you guys are understood about it, how we can working on it. Okay. So I hope you guys are enjoyed the today's session. If you enjoyed means please give your heart in comment box right now. So, and this is not a regular class. And also, if you guys are really like this particular session means please give your heart in comment box right now. And also hit the like button as well. Thank you so much. We'll meet you tomorrow with a different topic. Bye bye.